Good afternoon, YouTube University. It is that time again. We're gonna send this 2019 TRD Pro 4Runner home, taking it up to Denver Sunday. We're heading out here on Father's Day weekend. Gonna go have a good weekend with the kids, and happy Father's Day to all you guys out there. I want to hopefully answer some more questions for everybody on this. This is a really cool build. A stage one that we did on this. I think you'll like it. Really just clean and functional. First phase of this one that we're doing for this client. But this is a very blue truck. It's the TRD Pro Blue 2019. Wanted to kind of show something too. Everybody thinks, we get a lot of comments, oh, why buy a TRD Pro if you're just going to be taking everything off of it, this TRD Pro? Well, that's not necessarily the case. As you can see, it still looks like a TRD Pro. That is part of the trim package, the interior, the seats, and things like that. The only thing that we took off of this truck, this TRD Pro, is in this box right here. 4 items, just the factory TRD Pro, Vox shocks and coilovers. The customer sold the wheels because of the dimensions of the wheels and what he wanted to do with the tire. The VTX wheel that we're using on here fits better than the TRD Pro wheel. And that's really it. Everything else TRD Pro stays. The factory E-locker is still in here. We re-geared it. We just built it on the bench to 456 on this one. And we put an ARB locker in the front. But moving front to back, I'll should go ahead and show you what we started with in the engine compartment here and what we did for that. There is the Magnuson, or Magnuson, depending on where you're at in the country, supercharger. Fits really nice. I love the way these things come together. We're using the Off-Grid Engineering dual battery kit as well, so you can kind of see where we stagger the batteries at. Matt does a great job over there. We love using his stuff. S-Pod, we mount it right to the top of the factory fuse box, so we can kind of access everything all together right here. One other thing we like to do on the other side is the Blue Sea fuse block. We kind of made our own little bracket there, kind of cleanly bring all of our positive leads into that. If anything needs to be added, we can add it and a fuse right there. Trying to think if there was anything else in here that we did. Don't believe so. As you can see, the Magnuson supercharger requires you to use a factory air box. We can incorporate a snorkel to this if we need to, and it's going to work like factory, so all of that works really well. Running all of our loom along the firewall, trying to keep everything clean, all of our fuses accessible and serviceable. And that's kind of it for the engine compartment. For the suspension, we left the front bumper stock for now. He's going to do something about that later. He's running the factory TRD Pro skid plate under here still. For suspension, we did our stage one using the Total Chaos upper control arm and King coilovers with a 600-pound spring on this, remote reservoir with adjuster. We're running about 1.5 to 2 inches of lift on this. We did not have to do a body mount chop on this. It fits really well. No scrubbing or rubbing or anything like that. Moving on back, we're running the RCI sliders. I like the fit and finish of these a lot. I like the way the dimple plates come out. It's a nice little step too, without it sticking out too far. On the rear, we're running the medium spring, all medium spring, and the King smooth body shock with remote reservoir and adjuster. The wheels are the 17x8 VTX Rogue Blackout Edition wheel with a 285/75/17 Toyo RT. So equates to about roughly a 33 by 11.5 wide. Really well balanced truck, drives great, drives amazing. For kind of going from the top, since you can see it, we're running the 98-inch, about an 8-foot long James Baroud awning, and this comes out about 102 inches straight out. And as you can see, there's no zippers on this cover. It just rolls up into its own cover, and it keeps it very low profile. It's about 4 inches by 4 inches, so super low profile for a really large awning. We have it mounted to the full-length front runner roof rack, and we're running the Baja Designs S2 Sport in a work lens beam pattern. So as the awning's out, you have a nice little light right under here that opens up your visibility at night right underneath the awning. And if you needed to, you can turn that up to where it shines on the awning itself and cast a softer light throughout where you're hanging out at. We're running our S-Pod in the cabin here, kind of doing something a little bit different. We're working with Scotia on some of their accessories, so we kind of pieced together this unit here, and it fit really, really well. So when you're behind the steering wheel, you can just glance at what you've got in front of you, and nothing's out of the way, nothing bounces or vibrates or moves around. It doesn't block any of the vents. Your defrost vent works well on the driver's side window, and then you can have your normal AC vent or heat vent right here, and everything operates like it should without compromising any of your usable space up here. Since we have both batteries, we've got a dual voltmeter right here in the factory location. Nice and low profile. You can see it from the normal sitting position without it being too overbearing for light. And that's it for what we did on the inside. Everything else in here is just TRD Pro spec out inside. Really like these seats. These seats are pretty nice. But that's kind of what people are after. You've got the carbon fiber trim, brushed aluminum up there. If that's what you like, then go for that, and you're not losing your investment on the TRD Pro equipment. In the back seat, we did something a little different back here. We've got a Goose Gear sleep platform that we can show you another angle here in a second. This is our onboard air box that we kept remote. We can actually just pull it out from where it's sitting right now and use it outside the truck. We've got dual via air compressors down in the base of that. There's just a quick connect for your air that goes to the air tank underneath the truck, and you have an Anderson connector for both compressors on the other side. So there's 2 plugs, and you can operate that. Keep your air hoses and stuff right in the top, and right now that's just kind of where it's sitting. You can kind of put it anywhere you want, but fits really well right there. Kind of gives you another platform to put your gear on. Okay, so for the ARB air locker, we dedicate the ARB compressor to the locker itself, because we want to leave our onboard air doing its job as onboard working air, and it's mobile. So if something were to go down with this, you still have your lockers. So where we place the little compressor from ARB is right underneath this, in this particular build, is right underneath the sleep platform, and we can mount it right there, running the air lines to the front locker from there, powering it off of the S-Pod on the dash. Moving around the back, we'll talk about the rear bumper. This is a dual swing out rear bumper from CBI. As you guys know, we do a lot of work with CBI. They're dual swing out, camp tables on either side. It's going to latch into place. Good usable space back here if you're going to set up a cook stove or camp stove or something like that right here. We've got a dual jerry can holder on the back, so you can hold 5 gallons of fuel, 5 gallons of water, or 10 gallons of fuel, whatever you want to do there. Front Runner makes a really cool can that's shaped like a jerry can. You can put right here and has a spigot on the bottom, so you could run it. Some cans have a spigot that come out the side, so you can keep camp water, fresh water right there if you want to. We're coming around receiver hitch, recovery points. We're running the Baja Designs Squadron Sport in the back. I believe Sport or Pro. Yeah, it's the Sport. So it's the work scene as well. Work like wide beam, so you can kind of have some good usable backup light powered off of the S-Pod up front. This is the Goose Gear drawer system. We really like to use the Goose Gear stuff a lot. The fit and finish is beautiful on this stuff and really solid. These drawers come out 100% all the way out, so you can keep camp stove, whatever you want in there. Clears the tables if you need them to. You could even make this another table if you had a little platform or something. You just put something across and have a big countertop if you wanted to. You can get really creative with this stuff. Running the Dometic CFX 40 fridge We use a lot of the Dometic products, and the Alucab drop-down fridge slide. Just comes out, drops down at 45, roughly at 45. You can access whatever you want to in here. You can remove the lid if you need to. Take the basket in and out. We do something a little different with these fridges too. We hook up an Anderson plug in the bulkhead back here, and we can change the plug end. These hold a lot better than the factory 12-volt plug. They don't vibrate loose, and you can just reach right in and plug it in. Red to red, obviously, and it just goes right in and powers up, and that goes off of your auxiliary battery. The Goose Gear sleep platforms, this is going to be a sleep platform. You've probably got a good 6 feet here, depending on how tall you are, I guess. These deck hatches, lockable deck hatches that you can just undo. A great deal of space. It's probably about 10.5 inches deep down to the floor down here where the seat was. So you can put whatever you want to down there. And then you can also reach it from the side. So you've got room for a third passenger over here. If you don't have the airbox there, you can put gear, whatever you want to on here. Get kind of creative with this too. You can do tie down tracks on here. You can run the tie down rings to the side of this from Goose Gear. You can kind of do that all the way around. You can kind of see the underside of the sleep platform where we've got the C-Tech charge controller for solar, and that's the solar panel right below it. So you can plug right in right there, plug and charge your auxiliary battery while you're just sitting at camp. Got another S2 Sport on the passenger side. You can move these up and down if you need to, depending on what you need to do for camp. You have a nice area to work light. You can still run the front runner tables that go underneath this. I think he's going to do that later, and then end up putting a floor up top so you can stand up there with a camera tripod and have a good elevated position, or even just camp chairs and hang out and watch a concert or a race or something like that. But this truck is pretty much it. And it's a work in progress, as most of them are. This is a great way to start. We really love doing the stage ones. We can have a quicker turnaround time with those. We can usually have the stage one out in about a week, finished up and out in about a week. And depending on obviously what you're going to do on top of that, what the customer wants to do with the bumpers and everything else. So, but I know you guys like the stage ones. We got a lot of great feedback from the stage one Tundra we sent back to Connecticut. Those were a lot of fun to do. So another good example of a clean stage one that daily driver can still fit in the garage. 33s, lockers front and rear, supercharger, and good way to get going. If you guys got any questions, always hit us up through our website. We can get back to answering questions that way, tavllc.com, and just fill out your stuff there. It comes directly to me or Daniel, and I'm traveling a lot right now, so we try to get back to our emails as fast as we can. So please be patient with us there. The ones that come through on YouTube, they're harder for us to monitor and answer back to, so if you could just hit us up on Instagram as well, at TAVLLC, and Tactical Application Vehicles on Facebook. We really appreciate all you guys, all of our followers and subscribers, and it's cool running into you guys into the field too, so great seeing all you guys at Overland Expo West. That was cool. So thanks again, happy Father's Day everybody, and be safe.